I'm Bob King, and this is Boston in a tan, puffy overcoat. As far as I knew, I was the only kid who showed up for college without a typewriter. There'd be plenty there, my mom and I must have figured. I can always borrow one if I need it. All the belongings I could fit were stuffed into an old suitcase I'd dragged across Europe the previous summer, heavy with tan leather and locks I'd never seen the keys to, and no wheels. It was enough to fill the half dorm room at Boston University I was allocated, augmented by trips to Cambridge to purchase punk rock posters and print art I thought looked cool. My roommate Dave from upstate New York didn't know what to make of me, but he had a stereo. I often thought we should decorate each other's big cinder block wall, since that's what each of us saw every time we looked up. That way, he'd be spared the daily offense of my David Bowie and Clash posters and waking up staring into Edward Monk's The Scream, and I would have been afforded the opportunity to rise in the morning or retire at night looking at something, anything other than Bruce. Dave had bootleg cassette tapes of every concert Bruce Springsteen had ever played on the Eastern Seaboard, which he liked to blast on an endless rotation. I'd get in from a party after midnight to find Dave and his fellow acolytes drinking whiskey with orange soda and rocking out to Rosalita at the top of their lungs, which I'd promptly shut down. He came back from class to find me wearing a groove into his yellow B-52s record, lip syncing every word as I typed up a term paper on someone's borrowed Smith Corona. Halfway through my first semester, my mom came to visit from California, and we went shopping. It was starting to get cold by then, even in November, a kind of cold neither one of us had ever experienced. We saw, we saw this tan, puffy down overcoat on sale at Filene's basement, a garment that hadn't so much come into fashion as come into existence for men in the fall of 1980. It was everything we both thought I needed: sassy, bold, and overkill for the Boston winter to come. Dave didn't know what to say when he first saw it. Neither did the rest of the dorm or the rest of Boston. I wore it as a suit of armor and a badge of courage as I faced the bitter cold and the world without her. They're not just white, my mother would say, of the unfriendly, unaccommodating, and utterly untanned locals. They're like this blue white. And we'd laugh. We laughed and laughed about them, the rude shop girls, and Dave and his white legs and Springsteen posters. I'd run around town with my big puffy overcoat and call her on the phone and tell her everything except one thing, and we'd laugh and laugh and laugh.